What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Transparency Turtleboy records request revealed. Went back to the beginning just so I could run through this in chronological order with you guys. What we're going to be looking at here is this is just Canton. So what I asked for in a public records request that was filled for me was every single incident involving Turtleboy, Aiden Carney, Turtleboy, Turtleboy Daily Live Sports, whatever I use. And I wanted anything that had his name in it. Okay. So I wanted to get the dates down for you guys. I'm a timelines person. So what I started with was 2022 to present day. I didn't go back any further than 2022. Not saying that I can't put that in, but we had a nice conversation with Canton and got some more stuff coming because I was asking them about their dash cam, body cam, and like their radio stuff for CAD. We'll get into that at a later date. But welcome. Let's get into it. The first date I'm going to bring your attention is June, 27th, 2023. And these have all been redacted very, very mildly. So really quick, what happened on June 27th, 2023, if you look at the document, is, hey, on Tuesday, June 27th, 2023, I, Officer James Kavanaugh, was assigned to a uniform, blah, blah, blah. At approximately 11:30 a.m., I was dispatched by Canton Control to D&E Pizza for a report of an unwanted party. When I arrived, I was met outside of D&E Pizza by Aiden Carney, who explained that he had walked into the shop and was immediately confronted by the shop owner, Albert. Chris, because Chris recognized him. Well, again, the reason I went ahead and got these is because I wanted to see what Turtleboy claimed in police reports. Okay. Or what we've seen and then they wrote in a police report. So Turtleboy will always show you like the video clips of him going into D&E and acting like a complete fucking idiot, which we're going to get into, by the way, the latest with the Proctor shit. And I'll give you guys my opinion on Proctor. Proctor is a piece of fucking garbage. Aiden Carney is not far behind. So I look at it as the trash, taking the trash out, right? And we're going to take them all out. You don't want either one of these people anywhere near anybody. Okay, so at this time, Chris met us at the front door and claimed that Aiden did not leave when first asked. Again, just watch the video. When separated, Aiden went on to explain that he was in town. He was in town. Now, this is what's going to be interesting because I'm going to put a whole nice timeline together. What was going on this day? Who else was in town? Why did Aiden go there on that day? At his trial, are they going to be able to say what Aiden Carney, you can never pinpoint where a person is based on their phone, but you could put them in a general area. And I'm just curious of the overlapping that we could potentially see. If he was with other people before he went and did that, who he was with the night before. But okay, great. Now, okay. When separated, Aiden went on to explain that he was in town at the pizza shop because he believes various citizens of Canton, including Chris's son, oh God, were invited. He believes. Now he says it's fact, but okay. In an incident dating back to January 2022 on Fairfield Road, Aiden claimed that Chris had initiated contact with him through Facebook, and he was there to follow up on that conversation. What a bastard. Okay. Remember I told you guys this happened. I said Aiden back in fucking April. Look at this motherfucking liar. Back in April was contacted. He could have had all these sauces, his sauces. But he didn't really want sources because this was not about writing an independent piece. This was all about propaganda, PR. Okay, Aaron Boy. I am doing something. I'm telling Karen's story and Karen's story. That's it. Okay. So right here, he tries to say that he went fucking there to fucking interview him. That he was following up because he contacted me, motherfucker. Dude, that's how delusional this man is. Okay. But it's almost like he knew what he was going to say to the cops if the cops were called. Hey, you contacted me. Oh, okay. Is that right? Okay. Just so you can see how Aiden rolls here. Hey, I'm just following up on that conversation. Okay. I explained to Aiden that since it was a private business, the shop owner had the right to request him to leave the shop, which he understood. I explained to Aiden that he was not welcome back in the store and he agreed to stay clear of the establishment. I spoke with Chris after Aiden had left, and Chris explained that he did recognize Aiden as he walked up to the store. Once inside, Chris stated that he asked Aiden to leave multiple times, to which he kept stating, I just want to ask a few questions, while filming Chris on his cell phone, but would not step out the door. According to Chris, he was able to get Aiden out of the store. He was able to get Aiden out of the store after multiple attempts. Chris stated he does not want Aiden on the property. All right. Well, and that was that. Okay. Now, what this told me is that if you put a public request through, let's say, Norfolk, go to the prosecutor's office and put your request through them, and I think that's all going to be protected, only because what I was able to ascertain from this, again, this is just my opinion because I don't have the files, is that since they started here, okay, with Chris, and I went through, and you're going to see like people that were complaining about him. Remember, they already had a victim advocate. So they're going to go to that victim's advocate. They're going to go to their victim advocate, and then they could potentially then go to, the prosecutor's office, the DA, because that's what they're dealing with. They're not calling the police, the local people. That's not who they're. Hey, I'm being harassed. I'm being threatened. Whatever they feel, and whatever it's because of, they're going to go to that outlet. So what I wanted to eliminate here is to see if they were just cop calling, and when I say they, I'm talking about the McCabe's, Alberts, Carrie Roberts, any of the witnesses that you saw in trial 1 and a couple people in trial 2. And what I'm able to tell you guys is that that's not what I saw here. So that would all be in the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, and emails through that, and doing a public request through that. And I will tell you that since they are victims, I would be, it's ongoing. We're not going to be able to get that. I would not expect to be able to get that. But hey, so next up is a 9/21/2023. Now I put these in a specific order based on the timestamp, obviously. And if you take a look, it's 11/27. And then you're going to see like right there, 9/22. So it was right after midnight on. So these next reports here that all stem from like the same incident. And this is Jennifer McCabe's sister, I believe. Denise, is that her sister? And this was, now I want you to remember something here on an important date. 9/21 is obviously before 9/23. Why is 9/23 important? Well, 9/23 is important because Aiden Carney was working with a girl that was running plates for him. And on 9/23, that's the day that the infamous Jen McCabe was at Michael Proctor's house day. So leading up to that, there was stuff going down. And that's why it's all about the timeline. So on 9/21/2023, so this would be before which is important. It's really important to understand. Why is it important to understand? Because why they're claiming when I say they, Jen McCabe, Elizabeth Proctor, whoever was at that house, why they were saying they were meeting up. Okay. What happened right before it? Well, there was something that happened. Okay. And let's get into it. On Thursday, September 21st, I was assigned, and I'm not going to read the stuff that's just, you guys can take a screenshot of that shit. I got to preserve my voice. Oh, by the way, if you guys did not know, I just got back from seeing Cristiano Ronaldo play in Houston for the World Cup. Took my son and we went to Houston. Mind you, I will just tell you that Houston must be the armpit of Texas. It's hotter than a witch's tit. But it's just humid. It is so humid there. Thank God it was inside in the dome. Where the Texans play. And on Friday, if you want to see my experience at the World Cup, it was hands down the best athletic event, and I've been to a lot of them. Sporting event that I've ever been to. It was just fucking electric. It was absolutely amazing. So bucket list, we saw Ronaldo play in person and we had some really good seats. So it was just, if you're a sports person like myself, it was fucking awesome. It's a memory. It's a bucket list that we'll have forever. So yeah, I'm trying to preserve my voice. So they're redacting some names. So upon my arrival, I spoke with blank in the interview room, which was audio video recorded. So it's a guy. So then he received, he said that he had received 2 concerning voicemails that he would like to show me. He first briefed me on why he believes he received these 2 voicemails. Blank said that last Saturday, 9/16, he and his wife were eating at CF McCarthy's when blank entered the restaurant to speak with the general manager. He stated blank went up to blank and asked him why he was there. Blank is a blank. Additionally, when blank and blank exited the establishment, they observed blank and a small handful of other individuals enter a vehicle together. At this time, blank stated to me that he said something inappropriate that he should not have said to blank. He would not elaborate. He then said blank stated, "How can you sleep at night?" To blank's mentioned to me that someone was filming at the time. I listened to voicemail number 1 from 9/19, which was 1 minute and 13 seconds long from phone blank. Using Clear, I queried this number and received a result of Aiden Kearney. The individual identified himself as Turtleboy and made accusatory statements, insults towards blank, and stated he wished to speak with him. Turtleboy also said he would be back to CF McCarthy's and the area to get loud, to quote unquote, get loud and continue with protests in the future. Remember this date, okay? 9/19/2023. Clearly after the rolling rally. I then listened to voicemail number 2 from 9/20/2023. So just the night before he came in there at 5:02. At 5:02. So guys, I want you to understand that this voicemail here at 11:32, that was on a live broadcast. But this at 9/20/2023 at 5:02, Aiden didn't do broadcast at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So this would have been something that nobody would have seen. So I'm curious of this call here. Because this one, I believe, was, recorded for all of us to watch, right? So this voicemail on 9/20/23 at 5:02, which was only several seconds long from unknown number. So he didn't use his other, so this is a different phone number, or he just blocked it. The individual sounded to be a male and stated, "Hey, tough guy, you like to threaten my daughter? What? Say sexual things to her? I'm coming for you. Your life is over as far as you know it. Really, run, you fat F." Hold on one second. Okay, wait a second. What? Wait a second. So, Jesus. From an unknown number, the individual sounded to be a male and stated, "Hey, tough guy, you like to threaten my daughter? Say sexual things to her? I'm coming for you. Your life is over as far as you know it. Really. Run, you fat fuck." Blank did not have an explanation for this voicemail. Seriously, look at this. Aiden, you call, you put the number out there live on 11:32, and now on 11/20/2023 at 5:02, this is happening. Now I'm going to tell you this would be one of two things that happens here. Either it's one of your stupid ass followers that are fucking idiot just like you, okay, or it's somebody who I even think could be just as dangerous, and it's also just bullshit as well, is somebody that would be an anti against Turtleboy, right? And do it to try to like make it seem like it's because of Turtleboy that this happened. Either way, though, Turtleboy's actions caused it because the number wouldn't have been out there unless Turtleboy did what he did at 11:32 at night, in my opinion. So it doesn't fucking matter. It all goes. It's a continuation of his behavior and what he did and how he did it that then allowed this to take place. But this is trolling 101. So either it's Turtleboy's people, or it's people against Turtleboy that want people to think that it's Turtleboy's people. Either way, they're all in the same group. Anybody that would do something like this is a piece of shit. And people have been known to do it to themselves. But anyways, this guy wanted to make us known of the, look at how these people write. Blank wanted to make us known of the voicemails. I instructed him to block the phone number, and then I would document this in a report. I instructed him to email the voicemails to my town email address in case they would be needed in the future. Again, I'm all about receipts. So it did happen. What people said, like, hey, I started receiving, threatening voicemails after Turtleboy called me. That did take place. So, there was no threat. Yeah, there was a threat. Actually, there we go. Poor behavior breeds poor behavior. So this is, I think this one's going to actually go in front of it. Okay. So this is about 4:30 on same day. Aiden Carney and James Raymond Ferris. So, all right. I love this because now this puts it all in perspective. Aiden acts like he just went up to CF McCarthy's like woo random on that day in September. Okay, there was stuff that was leading up to this. He makes those phone calls. Somebody then makes a weird ass fucking call about someone's kid again. And then the next day, this is what's happening on 9/22. Hey, people were annoying others with video cameras. So I was dispatched to the area of 614 Washington Street for people annoying others with video cameras. Now, in Massachusetts, this is a big deal. When I arrived, I noticed two parties on the sidewalk that I had dealt with on a prior call to this location. I went into CF McCarthy's in an attempt to speak with the calling party. I spoke with several employees who stated they observed the disturbance but did not call the police. I went outside and briefly spoke with Aiden Carney on the sidewalk. He had small signs and was protesting in front of D&A Pizza. He stated he had attempted to speak with Jim Ferris several times. At this point in time, I spoke with Jim Ferris as he exited D&A Pizza. Mr. Ferris stated that he and Chris Albert had called the police. Mr. Ferris is the delivery driver for D&E. He said that they had been following him and accosting him as he attempted to go to his motor vehicle. I assisted him to his vehicle. He advised that Aiden Carney could in fact video record and walk beside him. Mr. Ferris was advised about possible HPO options. Approximately 1 hour later, okay, so this happens, right? And then an hour later, I was again dispatched to the same area for multiple reports, 5 of people in the street obstructing traffic. I did not observe any person in the roadway. However, a group of 2 had grown to approximately 10 to 12 people in front of D&E protesting. It appeared an opposing group was across the street in the Walgreens parking lot. At that time, both sides were peaceful. I was able to speak with Chris Albert, owner of D&E Pizza, via telephone. He stated that the party in front of his store, Carney, was interfering with customers coming and going from his shop. He added he got at least 3 telephone calls from regular customers who drove by, saw the commotion and protests, and didn't order food because they didn't want to get involved. In addition, he got approximately 40 phone calls that tied up his phone lines. He stated many of the calls asked for a Colin Albert murder sandwich or Alberts are murderers. Mr. Albert explained how difficult and taxing those calls were, as much of his business is telephone based. Mr. Albert feels that these telephone calls were fueled directly by Mr. Carney and his online attack on Mr. Albert's business. I asked Mr. Albert if he had any specific names I could add to the report for customers who were affected by the protests. He stated that he didn't believe that anyone would be willing to come forward fearing repercussions. Mr. Albert was going to attempt to compile a list of telephone numbers who called in fake or erroneous orders and provide me with those tomorrow. On September 26, 2023, I was able to speak with Mr. Albert via telephone, and he asked if he had a chance to compile a list, or we asked him that he had called this place a business harassment. Mr. Albert was able to provide me with 11 screenshots of telephone numbers or names, which provided date and time. Huh. Oh, hot damn. Have you guys seen any of this shit? I mean, why does anybody put out facts? Because I haven't seen these reports. Have you guys seen these reports? Oh, fucking A, man. 11 screenshots, man. Mr. Albert also stated that Kate called 3 times on the evening of the 22nd in a harassing manner. Kate, you bad motherfucker. It's not Kate Maselli. I don't know. Maselli. I would say Maselli. Oh, that's the Italian in me. I'm going to go with Maselli if I'm wrong. But hey, she called 3 times. She was adamant, man. Mr. Albert added that on Monday evening, September 25th, he received a telephone call from blank that stated he and his son, Colin, were murderers. All screenshots provided by Mr. Albert are attached to this report. Okay. Next up, same day. Oh, actually, hold on. This should have been talked about first, or maybe I just printed it twice. Okay. Again, because this is at 12:05. I was dispatched by Canada because police officers reported lobby harassing annoying phone calls. All right. Jesus. Okay. So technically, this happened, the night of the 21st, basically going into, the 22nd. So this happened before that. Pathetic fucks. Okay, so this girl comes in. So at approximately 12:05, I was dispatched by Canton Control to return to Canton Police Headquarters to speak with the reporting party in the lobby. She had regarding harassing and annoying phone calls. Upon arrival, I spoke with the reporting party, who was later identified as Kristen Delaney, stated that Turtleboy sent the private message to her and that Kristen has some intel about the Canton corruption tips for Turtleboy. Turtleboy's Carney. She stated she stopped contact with Turtleboy about a month ago. Then Turtleboy reaches her family and asks about her. This caused this girl to become uncomfortable, and she wanted him to stop. Kristen stated that Turtleboy posted her information such as her phone number, workplace, and message screenshot. I advised documenting this in a report and instructed Kristen to block all contact with Turtleboy. I explained the harassment prevention order right, and this will document in the report. Who the fuck is this? Oh my god. Who the fuck is this? Jesus. All right. We then go. Again, guys, remember what I said in the beginning. When you go through these documents, if you're like, Lana, this is all that's reported to the Canton Police Department. Yes, these are incident reports. Okay, incident reports. Any incident involving Turtleboy in Canton from 2022 to present day. Remember that other places could be called, like your district, wherever you're at. Also, you can go to the Norfolk District Attorney's Office. So people that were already like dealing with, like I said, they had their own victim advocates, and that's where they would go. So this is not the totality of anybody that would call on him, or it's just where all that took place. And all I simply asked for in this first batch was, hey, incident reports. Now, if you want to get into CAD and radio, we can take it there. Let's see. Next up is almost a year later. So June of 2024. And this would be during the Karen Reed first trial. After it, I believe. So, Ferris. This is I think this is the yeah. So almost a year later, when Chris first had that report in 2023. Anybody know who this Kristen girl is? Does he ever talk about that Kristen girl on his shows? I mean, he has a nickname for everybody, so who knows who the Kristen girl is? She could go by a nickname. I mean, Turtleboy's nickname for me is Errand Boy. He's an errand boy. All right, so again, this is going to be at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Upon my arrival, so I was dispatched to Canton Control, so 614 Washington Street. Upon my arrival with Officer Wade, one, two, how many? Healy. I think he might be on Oakdale. Okay, we were met with many individuals on the sidewalk in front of business. Okay. I spoke with victim. Victim, Aiden Carney. What the fuck? He's a victim at 10 o'clock in the morning? Victim, Aiden. He said that he was the victim of 2 assaults that had just occurred. 2 assaults that had just occurred. Assaults, man. Okay, Aiden, assaults. Let's see what the Let's say we all remember the version that he puts out. Here we go. So Aiden said that he was a victim of 2 assaults that had just occurred. He stated that one of which involved a woman who was still on scene, and he pointed her out to me by name. She was identified as Jill Daniels. Aiden Kearney stated that he was out to dinner. What the fuck? Okay. This is at 7:38 p.m. I don't know what all this is all about. Oh, that's okay. So they went back in the next day and modified that. Okay. All right, let me clear that up for you guys. So 6:23 at 7:38. Then the next day there were some modifications made to this. All right. So this is, the Jill Dan, he recorded this. Remember that? So Aiden stated that he was out to dinner at C.F. McCarthy's, and when he exited and began filming, Daniels walked over to him and grabbed his cell phone out of his hands. Grabbed. He said that she then held it for about 2 minutes before giving it back by throwing it. I spoke with Jill Daniels, who admitted to grabbing Aiden Kearney's cell phone. So she's not a liar. We know Aiden's a liar. She admitted to grabbing his cell phone and had it in her hands for what she said to be under 5 minutes, and then set it on the ground to give it back to him. Interesting. I informed Daniels that she would be receiving a summons in the mail in regards to the incident. She provided me with her identifying information. What? Okay. Aiden Kearney also stated that another individual who was identified also by name as Jim Ferris walked up to him and hit Kearney's phone out of his hands, causing it to go flying. Aiden Kearney did not believe that the phone was damaged, but was not completely positive at the time. He stated that Ferris works at nearby store D&E Pizza and Subs and left in his car to do a delivery. I then spoke with D&E business owner, Mr. Albert there, Chris, who was also on scene, and told him to get in contact with his employee and request that he return so that I could speak with him. James Ferris returned a short time later and was uncooperative with my questioning. I don't have to talk to you. What do you mean uncooperative? That's a bunch of bullshit. He doesn't have to speak with you. These motherfuckers are just backwards in Canton, man. Great job, Jim. I wouldn't have talked to the cop either, hun. Okay? Jim Ferris uncooperative because he didn't talk to the police officer. You don't have to talk to the police officer. That's not uncooperative. That's my right. So we can't be labeling not speaking to the police officer as uncooperative. He was uncooperative with my questioning. He said to me, he was filming me and I got angry. Well, then how was he not cooperative? He just dude, these people, they need to be trained. How can you say this man is not being cooperative, but yet he just fucking told you what happened? Ugh, the nerve of these cops. They just flat out suck. Sorry. Ferris, I think they just suck at writing reports. But that's kind of why they went into being patrolmen, because they just weren't going to go to school to do, write papers and shit. Ferris did not provide me with his identifying information, and he was informed that he would be receiving a summons in the mail. Well, how's that going to happen? At one point, in an attempt to just de-escalate the situation, I requested to Albert, Chris, that he take his family and friends into his restaurant off of the sidewalk in an attempt to separate the parties involved. Chris Albert was reluctant to cooperate and stated something to the effect of that he wished to remain right where he was, which was on the sidewalk in front of his business, which is in short distance from C.F. McCarthy's, where Aiden Kearney was. Who the fuck wrote this? He has every right to do that. I mean, what? Why are you telling me to go into my business? I'm standing right here. right here. This is where I want to stand. Right in front of my fucking place of business on the sidewalk. Like, labeling this, I can't even believe that this person wrote this. So this is amazing, though. Anybody that's saying that Chris Albert is being given preferential treatment, this report says no, the fuck he wasn't. Look at this report. Chris was reluctant to cooperate. That is, oh shit. Oh shit. Fucking wow. Okay. I also spoke with witness blank. Ooh. She showed me video footage that she took on her cell phone. In one video, Daniels appeared to be emotionally agitated and exit a vehicle. Daniels then walked over and approaches Aiden Carney and calls him a fucking prick. You fucking pervert, you fucking prick. All these P's in here. And then aggressively snatches Aiden Carney's cell phone from his hand while he appears to be recording. After about 30 or 45 seconds, Jill Daniels drops the phone on the ground after Aiden Carney asks for it back, drops it. Blank also showed me a video footage of Ferris walking over to Carney, and Ferris swings his arms towards who she stated to be Aiden Carney. I was not able to see the full extent of this assault occur on video due to it being partially cut off. Hooey! The truth shall set you free. So this assault was not on video. We've heard the whole time that it's been on video and just has not been on video. So everybody can, it's right here in a written report. Again, this is all hearsay. Can't wait to see this video. However, Blank stated to me that it was at this time that Ferris hit Carney's phone out of his hand while Aiden Carney was holding it. Oh, however, that's a bad. I don't believe it. Well, there's no. So, wow. Oh boy, snatches. TB is a snatch. He's a snatcher. What a fucking idiot. In these videos, Albert Chris Jr. could be seen present as well. Why is that needed? In these videos, Chris Albert Jr. is present. Aye, Captain. What? Fucking nobody else's name but Chris Jr. I mean, come on, guys. This is just. Thank you. What's the significance of that? Is there a significance? It better be significance, because in these videos, Chris Jr. could be seen present as well. And what, man? Come on. What the fuck is his name in here for? I instructed Blank to email the videos to my town email. Officer Wade and I also spoke with witness blank. So 2 separate witnesses, guys. This witness stated now we have a boy. He witnessed Ferris and Daniels assault Kearney. Oh God, who's this he? I instructed Aiden Kearney to email the footage that he took of the assaults. I also spoke with witness Kristen, who stated that she witnessed the assault occur with Daniels. Assaults. These people call these assaults. I just think it's hilarious. Okay. Sandra Birchmore's killed and murdered, and these are, these phone assaults here. This is what the fuck's going on in Canton. Officer Chin spoke with witness Colin Albert. Now, witness Colin Albert, who was also present. He stated that Aiden Kearney made statements allowed prior to our arrival, such as calling Albert a murderer. Fact. Aiden Kearney denied making any such statements and stated that the video live stream he took does not depict him making those statements. Are you fucking kidding me? You weren't live streaming the whole time. He wasn't live streaming the whole time. How does he know that his video wouldn't depict that at that moment when you're talking to the police? Did you watch it back? William Tardy gets people 5 memberships and says, welcome. Mitkiss77 member for 4 months. Welcome back, Lana. Thank you so much. How you doing, William? You good, my man? Thanks, William. He calls him a murderer 24/7. Oh, I didn't do that. I don't have it on my phone. It's not true. Aiden Curry denied making any such statements. I love it. And said the video or live stream he took does not depict him making those statements. I informed Carney that I would document Colin's statements in the report. So they were just standing there together, talking to the police officer, knowing what the other person said. Like, what? Because of this, once back at headquarters, I sought to do a follow-up myself with Albert Colin, via Canton Police Department phone in order to get a more accurate account from his point of view of the events from tonight and the statements that he made to Officer Chin. What? I spoke with Colin Albert at approximately 10 p.m. Colin Albert stated to me, I wonder if this was recorded. Colin Albert stated to me via Canton Police Department recorded line. Thank you. That he heard Carney stated to Daniels that Colin was in the house and that they all killed John O'Keefe. Colin stated that he also thought Carney might have used the word murderer during this time, but was not entirely sure. Colin stated that hearing this made him feel terrible, absolutely terrible, and that he can't even describe it with words. This is what Turtleboy is making fun of this kid for. Dude. This whole entire community that you've created, Turtleboy, okay, cries when somebody calls them a fucking bitch, okay? Cries. Literally goes and fucking files like harassment prevention orders. I mean, if somebody called you a murderer, it would make you feel terrible. That is 1000% a reasonable person would never disagree with that. Okay. If you call somebody a murderer and you think that they're not going to feel some type of way about that, then you're the one that needs fucking therapy. You're the one that needs help. You're the one that needs a padded motherfucking room. So anybody thinking that, dude, you would feel terrible. Absolutely terrible. Like, who the fuck? A murderer? Yeah, I killed somebody. Yeah. And you're going around and this is being spread, not just like in some little group chat or something. This is all over the country. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Colin said that he was standing right next to his dad's store and Aiden Carney was standing in front of CF McCarthy's when this occurred. Mm-hmm. But he just wanted to go to CF McCarthy's, because I just want to have dinner there. No, you want to start shit. You're a little fucking, you're an antagonizer. You're a little fucking baby fucking bully. Little fucking errand boy. Thought he was untouchable because he had fucking Alan Jackson and Yannetti and all these fucking assholes cheering him on. Okay. And yeah, I'm saying assholes because in that moment, like, anytime you stoop to somebody else's level, the level that you think they're doing something or whatever, yeah, you become a fucking asshole. Like, you're better than that. Where's your standards? Like, but then you start wondering, really, who has standards? It is believed. So when any cop writes believed, that means not determined. Doesn't mean shit. Can't prove it, nothing. It is believed to be more probable than not that Daniels and Ferris were in violation of Massachusetts general law. It is believed. Assault and battery against Aiden Kearney. You know what? This is all I'll say. I love it. If I'm an idiot, then what does that make you? I don't watch idiots. But thank you for lowering your standards. If if Turtleboy believes that this is assault and battery, right? Whatever the fuck they want to charge them with, awesome, right? Aiden then again by the letter of the law, right? By hey, this is the statute, then you're just as fucked. So like think about it. Turtleboy, do you think that this is assault and battery? Because the same thing here that you cry about every fucking day. Well, here you go. They spelled idiot wrong. I didn't even pay attention. I was just so on to the next. What's up, young black economist? How you doing? Yes, this is why I would call security if I ever saw any. Yes, because what they're trying to do is they are trying to. He's a menace. He is trying to provoke. Okay, he goes places to create outrage. He wants to provoke you. He's trying to get you to commit a crime. What like who does that? Who does that? He's telling people to literally go and watch even bigger idiots right now. One of the women's a failing comedian. Like, geez. So here, this is based on the fact that the victim and witnesses identified themselves to police. This is based on them telling on themselves, basically. You see that? This is based on the fact that the victim and witnesses identified themselves to police, thus establishing, and recalled the detailed course of events coupled with video footage. Well, I thought you said the video footage didn't have it. Thus establishing a base of knowledge that details that Daniels and Ferris apparently intentionally made physical contact with Aiden Carney. What? Without having any right to do so and without Carney consenting to such physical contact. I was able to burn the videos of the assaults that were sent of the assaults. Where's this? And that's the end of that. Where is that case stand right now? I have to look up this case number. Let's just pull the whole file. Was it handled? Next up, same day. Hold on. Oh wait, that was a duplicated print. Let me make sure. Yeah, I just copied something twice. Okay, then the next one that we have is right before. Now, this one was really interesting to me. This one was right before the holidays. Okay, in 2024, December 13th. So I received a radio call to return to Canton to speak with a party in the lobby regarding comments made online. Upon arrival, Sergeant Anderson and I spoke with Jennifer O'Donnell and Kevin O'Donnell in the interview room at the Canton Police Headquarters. Both were advised that the conversation would be audio and video recorded. Both acknowledged Ms. O'Donnell requested a wastebasket because she felt sick due to the conversation below. A wastebasket was provided. Ms. O'Donnell apparently visibly upset, shaken, and had tears in her eyes. What the fuck is going on? Miss O'Donnell stated that she was being attacked online by Aiden Carney, a.k.a. Turtleboy. Miss O'Donnell stated that Mr. or Mrs., because then it says he. Mrs. O'Donnell stated that he has been using degrading words towards women, called her unhinged, crazy, and a cunt. Miss O'Donnell told us that he used those terms on a live show, which was broadcast on YouTube, X, and the Turtleboy website. She mentioned that the dates of the shows were on December 8th, December 10th, and December 12th. When asked why Mr. Carney was speaking about her, Miss O'Donnell stated that she was standing up to him, and then redacted. Interesting. The reason for the redactions is because this is the victim's statements. Miss O'Donnell also explained that she sent Mr. Carney several documents between her and Canton Public School officials. Those documents contained personal information of her juvenile daughter. What? When asked, Miss O'Donnell said that they were unredacted versions sent directly to Mr. Carney. Wait. So she sent these? This scumbag. Mr. and Mrs. O'Donnell told us that they have been communicating with Mr. Carney via text and cell phone calls. Mr. O'Donnell said that he spoke with Mr. Carney this morning regarding posts and comments. They requested the post be removed from his social media platforms and the videos taken down. I requested all texts, social media posts, videos, etc. be forwarded to my town of Canton email address. Ooh, and then all this is redacted. If it's a juvenile too. After my conversation with Mr. and Mrs. O'Donnell, I attempted to locate the social media posts and videos referenced in this report. I was unable to find any videos as they were no longer on the Turtleboy Live YouTube channel. I thought he doesn't take stuff down. I found multiple posts speaking about Miss O'Donnell, including apparent text message exchange between the two. Screenshots of the X posts are attached to this report. Last, I went to the TV Daily News website. No articles were currently posted on the website. At this time of this report, none of the requested items have been forwarded to my email. Well, it was remodified here. It was started here. You did something on this day. This day. Looks like something would have happened. See that day. No text, videos, or screenshots have been forwarded. Okay, but didn't she show you them in person? Did you call her and ask her? Okay, on the 16th at approximately 3:30. So look at what they did. Because he wrote this up on that same day. It's like, give the girl a second. That was on the 13th. Within 3 days, she got it to you. So then he has to like, hey, on Mondays, I received email from Kevin O'Donnell regarding the incident he and his wife reported on Friday, December 13th. Oh my God. Can you imagine that? Waiting till Monday to like get it all together and send? Oh, woo. Woo-wee. Wow. The email contained a Dropbox link containing 28 screenshots from Mr. Carney's social media accounts. I downloaded the file on the computer in the report room and reviewed the screenshots. Some images were duplicates. I attached the screenshots that were not to this report. I was unable to view the files in this format. The PDF was sent. The PDF sent was not able to be attached due to the file size. The YouTube link sent speaks about mental health issues in the first few seconds of the clip. Also attached was the full version of Turtleboy's live episode 718. Karen Rieke's file. I confirmed receipt of the file from Miss O'Donnell via my town. I confirmed receipt. Okay. All attachments were placed in the O'Donnell folder. Huh. Oh, Sarah's here. Sarah, hey girl. Are you serious right now? You don't think I've seen these fucking videos? Okay, hon. Welcome, Sarah. I'm so glad you're here. All right. Amazing. Okay, so those are the reports that feature Turtleboy in Canton. Awesome. Now, Mark Batterow was feeling left out, and he's like, I have to write Okay. I have to write like 17 pages. I haven't wrote in so long, man. Turtleboy, 10 G's, toss it over to me now. Sarah. Okay, so guess what? Defendant's second motion to compel disclosures of Michael Proctor's communications with Incorporated. Here's the memorandum. Well, on October 16, 2025, at a hearing in the Brian Walsh case, I knew this was coming up, the Commonwealth confirmed that many of these materials were discoverable and or favorable to defendants in cases in which Proctor was a potential witness. Okay. On October 21st, 2025, so a week later, he emailed Robert Cosgrove, Mark Betterow did, and Norfolk County District Attorney First Assistant, a specific demand under Brady versus Maryland for the disclosure of Proctor's communications or other evidence on his device which tended to impair his credibility and or otherwise tended to favor Carney. On October 21st, Mr. Covert got right back and declined to provide any Proctor related evidence because, according to Mr. Cosgrove, he listed three things. A, Proctor didn't play any investigative role in Carney's case. Two was he didn't intend to call Proctor as a prosecution witness against Aiden Carney. I think actually those are the only two that he listed. I thought there was three. Now, on October 24th, just a couple days later, the defense filed its first motion seeking an order compelling disclosures of Proctor's evidence. In response to Mr. Cosgrove's claims that Proctor didn't play any role in the Massachusetts State Police investigation of Aiden Carney, our prior motion cited examples of Proctor's involvements to include his interactions with other MSP investigators about Aiden Carney's alleged witness intimidation. Okay. For example, Proctor testified in the grand jury that MSP installed cameras to watch portions of the rolling rally for which Aiden Carney was later indicted for picketing. So, Proctor claimed that he watched protesters near his and his wife's home. Where were these cameras set up? Because I have a couple takes on this. Proctor further testified that, again, this is at the grand jury, that he was the lead investigator on the Karen Reed case. He claimed that he first encountered Aiden Carney after Aiden Carney called him, identified himself as a journalist, questioned him about A, his personal relationship with the Alberts, B, why he lied about the time when Karen Reed's car was towed, and C, why he misspelled the names of witnesses in his reports. Oh, and D, when he first went to the Albert home after John O'Keefe was killed. Oh, he lied about when he first visited the home. Well, I hate to just say this, but yes, you can misspell words on purpose, but I'm sorry. Like, he's just dumb as fuck. Like, Proctor's a piece of shit. Ask him about his personal relationship with the Alberts all day. Why he lied about the time when Karen Reed's car was towed. I would have hit up where, like, if you knew that there was a Dighton police officer there too, I would have asked him. I would have reached out to him too, to show, like, I'm doing my job and hating anybody that was involved in the incident. And when he first went to the Albert home after John O'Keefe was killed. At Kearney's trial. So this is Mark Betterow saying, at Kearney's trial, video evidence. We are going to provide video evidence that will establish that Proctor perjured himself before the grand jury by falsely claiming that he observed on video a protester park on his lawn and another spit at his house during the rolling rally. The video that Proctor viewed shows no such things. And I'm saying, when did this video get viewed? What video was it that Proctor was this in during the grand jury, like an exhibit? You know what I mean? I said, but didn't they drop these charges related to Proctor? Fucking yeah, of course, committed perjury. Him and Aiden both perjure. They always perjure themselves. Aiden Carney committed perjury with Meredith when he used my material to try to say that was Meredith. Like, what a fucking complete idiot. Yeah, these are two idiots, two criminals calling each other out. Fuck yeah. Proctor explained to the grand jury that MSP did not attempt to intervene or stop the rolling rally, but that local towns were on standby. And now this is my question, which is, why didn't they try to intervene? Or did they not perceive like, hey, maybe we should, like, we can't do anything until he does something or somebody else does something. I mean, what do you want us to do? But my question was you didn't feel the need to intervene because you didn't think that there was going to be violence, but they were on standby in case of property being damaged. So get ready for that. Something that's going to come up. He conceded that no property damage occurred during the rally. And I'm like, if it was illegal, why not attempt to prevent or arrest on site or like cite people? Like, what's going on? I said, I personally believe that they didn't want to do this because of the media attention they did not want. Also, they just fucking don't know. Like, you guys, these cops are dumb as fuck over there. So next, Proctor testified about his involvement in the portion of the investigation that focused on a police dispatcher who was indicted alongside Aiden Carney for improperly accessing information and providing it. Now, this is... There you go. Remember I told you guys to pay attention to those dates? This is why all of this goes out the window for me. This time frame. So this is what you do. It's no different than this is how law enforcement it's like tickling a wire. It's like you do something to get somebody to react, and then you're going to use it against them. Okay, so let me explain this. I said, pay attention to the dates, pay attention to this timeline. September 21st, what happens? September 22nd, what happens? Okay. What's happening on those days? Aiden Carney's calling people, right? Forcing them to it's a reactionary. So everything that Aiden did on the 21st, 22nd, all that shit, it was done so that there'd be reactionary. But we're going to use the reactionary as if that's just the first thing that happened in the timeline and chain of events. No different than how Karen Reed and her attorneys also use stuff. Okay, but that's why you have to start at the beginning of a timeline. And so a beginning of a timeline here is, okay, what was going down on September 21st, 22nd, 23rd? And then now they're all over at someone's house talking, and here Jen's like, yeah, because of let's go listen to her fucking testimony. And this is where Adam Lally sucks. This is where Hank Brennan sucks. You have to rehabilitate people, okay, on the stand. Whether it's Jen McCabe or any witness, you can only answer the questions that are asked upon you, okay? And you need to take diligent fucking notes as an attorney during cross-examination of your witness so that you can rehabilitate when somebody is trying to carve up this perspective of an event and try to perceive it a certain way. You need to clear that up. So to understand what took place on September 21st, 22nd, 23rd, leading up to this whole people at Proctor's house thing on the 25th. Now, there is a reason, okay, it to me then makes sense where this didn't just happen up out of the blue. You did something for reactionary, and then you were all out watching and staking, and hey, they're going to get together. They're going to all talk about it. We have to do stuff that's outrageous. We have to do things that are, to force this, and then let's catch them in the act of hanging out. It's no different than what law enforcement did and has done in the past. Like, it's just take this a chapter out of the book. Here you go. So, but over here, Mark Betterow is like, hey, I just want to point out that that broad that was indicted with Aiden for conspiracy and all this shit. Well, guess what? This dispatcher was never arraigned on the indictment. Okay, so she's a cooperating witness. She's going to testify against Aiden Carney. And they're over here acting like, hey guys, hey, dude, are you fucking kidding me? This happens every single day in law enforcement, in murder cases, in you name it. Where here we're not gonna, what do you mean, indict them on this? They became a cooperating witness. It happens all the time. And then that just gets explained to the jury, and the jury can take what they want with it and from it. Like, the big question would be is, did you know that he was going to post the shit on social media versus just take the information? I mean, I don't know. I would love to know their past history here. I mean, Karen Reed has a private investigator. Why is Karen Reed hitting up Aiden Carney to do something that a PI could do? Run some plates? Like, that would have been the first time. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking somebody to run plates. You understand who was staking who out then? Aiden Carney, if he's doing the work, right? He doesn't need to, he's just running the plates, and he's not, you get what I'm trying to say? So think about it like this. I do X, Y, and Z, right? Hey, and then I'm going to put my people, hey, staking out different people's homes, and let's see who goes over to whose house. Okay. So remember, Karen Reed asked Aiden to run plates. How did she know that? How did she know what was going down? You're watching, right? If it was all just Aiden, there would never been that Karen Reed reaching out to Aiden to say run plates. He doesn't fucking even need that because he's waiting to see the cars and to do whatever. So, but hey, this fact alone shows the bad faith and lack of integrity of the investigation of Aiden Carney. Like, what? People get slaps on the wrist all the time to cooperate. Shit, look at Kayla Montgomery. The fuck? Are you kidding me? In the Harmony Montgomery case? Are you fucking serious right now? Do you want to know what that girl was given? Do you want to know how many times she committed perjury on the stand? They then charge her with perjury only to then say, I mean, it's insane. So I want to know how many times and how long this girl's been running plates. But what's interesting to me is that I just would think that Karen Reed and her PI team, you'd want to keep that in-house. Anyways, so for me, this girl right here is totally being cooperative, and she's definitely going to serve. If she already has, I mean, she's probably already given the information. But remember, Karen was like, "Why the fuck did she talk to whatever the hell? Why did she give them her phone and stuff like that?" Remember, Karen was pissed. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, that's the old saying: if you want something done right, do it yourself. Proctor. Here we go. Number 12 is Proctor revealed for the grand jury his motive for being biased against Carney, which is testifying that he was repeatedly and unjustifiably trashed by Aiden Carney as corrupt and conflicted. The ever defensive Proctor. See, like these just words aren't needed. Does Mark Bettero not get this yet? Do you know who you're talking to here? The ever defensive Proctor. Like, I get that it's for us because this is not, but this judge does not like this shit. What don't you get? Can you not fucking read a room, Mark? The judge does not like this shit. He doesn't like your 88 pages. He doesn't like your 17, like none of this shit. Like, I would just knock it off and just write what you need to write. It's going to be way more. Proctor. Ironically, again, these words do no favor. In fact, they work opposite. If you can't see this by now, the ever defensive Proctor ironically claimed that he, quote unquote, never had a complaint filed against him and that he, quote unquote, never the subject of an IA investigation. He could explain, he could say that because it didn't happen yet, right? Proctor explained that I just did my job. Yep. And we all know Proctor's a piece of shit, right? And now it's like, okay, well, what did he do? Somebody asked me, so what do you think is going to happen with Aiden because of the Proctor shit? Nothing. That's what I think. Absolutely nothing. Do I think that Aiden Carney is going to receive a dismissal because Proctor had whatever you want to try to say involved in this? Nope. Sure don't. Because why, Lana? Because Aiden Carney recorded himself committing crimes. This is not like sorry. That's why. Not every day does a criminal just go and record themselves. Proctor's wife is named victim in one indictment against Aiden Carney. Yep, for witness intimidation. And will be a prosecution witness against Aiden Carney. The defense will offer context as to why Aiden Carney ever discussed or interacted with Proctor's wife. What? What do you mean? I've watched all of that shit. I'm going to be your kids' daddy. Let me teach them how to throw a football. Like, the defense will offer the context though around that. As to why he ever discussed Proctor's wife. Obviously, the context will include evidence that Aiden Carney believed Proctor was corrupt, biased, and conflicted. I don't give a fuck what you believe. It's great. Attack the investigation. What does Proctor's wife have to do with other than, yeah, she married a complete scumbag. She would have to know how he handled himself. Okay. And so what? One racist married another racist. I think they're all disgusting. I don't think that he should be in law enforcement, but just like I don't think that Aiden Carney doesn't absolve him of what the fuck he's done. Somebody being and doing this, on October 27th, 2025, all you're going to do is do exactly what Karen Reed did. Put it all out there and let the jury see it. And let the jury ask themselves if Proctor planted evidence against Aiden Carney. Okay, because the question was asked upon that jury in Karen Reed case is, did Proctor plant evidence against Karen Reed? Totally different. What evidence was planted against Aiden Carney? Please point me to that. Point me to that. You can't. Now, on October 27, 2025, the defense submitted a supplemental affidavit containing additional facts in support of the first motion. And you mean the mega motion? It's June of 2026, and we haven't even argued that, okay? And also, the judge totally told you that this isn't how we do things here. Okay. But this submission included additional evidence establishing that Proctor was involved in the investigation of Aiden Kearney, including recently discovered emails. Recently. What do you mean recently discovered? Like, I hate when people, he knows what they're doing here. Why can't you put a date down there? Because it doesn't look good. Recently discovered, as in when? Email sent by, Yuri to Proctor on July 28th and 29th of 2023, which contained attachments titled McCabe harassment and Albert harassment. Remember what I was telling you guys about the Canton file and why these, like where everything was being sent? Okay. I'm curious if this involved the victim advocate. But this is why there's no like Canton write-ups. It's all within this case for the witnesses. In his July 28th and 29th, 2023 emails to Proctor, Sergeant Buchanan specifically sought Proctor's investigative input about the McCabe and Albert harassment reports and asked Proctor if anything needed to, quote unquote, be fixed in the reports. 17 minutes after he sent Proctor the McCabe report, Sergeant Buchanan sent Proctor an updated and more accurate version of the report. 10 minutes after he sent Proctor the Albert report, Sergeant Buchanan sent Proctor an updated report. Without more, this demonstrates that Proctor participated in the Kearney investigation. Where are any of the Proctor to Buchanan emails? Actually, it shows boys in blue. I said, perfect. Attack it at trial. Attack the fact that this guy had nothing to do with this investigation, right? He wasn't assigned to this, and Buchanan is giving Proctor material. Why? But where's Proctor's emails to Buchanan? I'm just curious. Like, these motherfuckers just don't do shit. Like, where's his input? You get what I'm saying? Where's Proctor's input? Everything is Buchanan to Proctor, Buchanan to Proctor, Buchanan to Proctor. Where's the input by Proctor? He was just standing next to him, verbalizing. I'm just curious on that. I'd be texting somebody and saying, dude, did you get my fucking email? What are you doing? Open your email. Personally, it's just more evidence that these people are. I personally think that they're not good at their job. Okay. They're not thorough. They don't follow protocol, right? So attack that at trial. Okay, but please, you're going to have to show how Aiden Kearney was set up. Just like you said that, that's what this is all about. I was framed. It's what Aiden says. I was framed just like Karen. I am Karen. To date, the Commonwealth has not responded to the October 24, 2025 defense motion. I said, what? I said, this has been explained to Mark. This is the judge said they don't even have to write anything. What do you want? What do you want them to write to you in your fucking novel of bullshit that doesn't even matter? That's not. You have to file an affidavit, right? Well, and then Mark's over here like, well, I finally did. Well, okay, Cosgrove doesn't think it's anything. Who cares? The fuck does it matter? I learned that watching the Shanna Gardner case. The state, the Attorney General's office that's running basically that investigation, there was a motion to suppress a shit ton of really important evidence. Do you know that the state did not write any briefs, any oppositions to it? They just oral argued their position in court. Never seen anything like it in my life. And guess what? All the suppression shit was denied. So learn about it. I don't know why the fuck Mark's crying about this. On June 4th, 2026, so just recently, Karen Reed filed a lawsuit against the MSP and town of Canton. This lawsuit referenced dozens of communications sent and received by Proctor, which demonstrates his dreadful credibility. Dreadful credibility. I would say his dreadful character. His shocking bias against entire classes of people and specific individuals, not white males. And specific individuals, and his willingness to let his actual bias influence his professional duties. Absolutely. But guess what? I will tell you this, that Aiden said it himself. He's like, fuck, if I was black, I'm a white male. That's who actually Proctor and these other idiots go to bat for, protect, aka like they're just, hey, he's like, we can't find any messages out there that say fuck white men, so Aiden called it himself. He said, yeah, there's just one problem, is that they're not biased towards him. Like his race, his, sex, his, everything about him. Now on June 11th, 5 days later, on June 11th, 2026, a May 8th, 2026 motion filed by the defense in the Miles King case was unsealed. Yep. This motion also contained dozens of messages establishing Proctor's poor character, lack of credibility, lack of professionalism, and his unfitness for duty as a police officer. Proctor's communications eviscerate his credibility. Proctor is an equal opportunity bigot. Equal opportunity. What? I cannot believe that Mark just wrote that. He is not an equal opportunity bigot. That's why write that statement? That's actually not true at all. Like, why are you have things that you can just like fucking bank on, and then you want to write this false. This is a falsehood. Proctor is not an equal opportunity bigot. No. Equal opportunity bigot means everything is available. That's just not the case, because white males like him are not. Like police officers, nope. I wouldn't trust Proctor to be my garbage man. He's a piece of shit. Absolutely. Why the fuck would you write this? There's no reason to write that. It's not true. It's just not a true statement. The message released by Reed and King exposed him as a virulent racist, a white supremacist, all these things. Mm-hmm. In short, these messages demonstrate that Proctor was never qualified to serve as a police officer. Yep. Proctor's lack of character required for an unbiased police officer was detected by the Boston Police Department, which rejected his How do you know that? Where did it list that? Where did it list that that's why Boston didn't hire him? I'm looking for that. Anybody? I know that Boston did not they didn't hire him, which rejected his application for employment after conducting a background check on him. Predictably, the racist Proctor blamed his rejection on a quote unquote an absolute blank 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 who had it in for him. The unanswered question is whether the MSP and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office were aware of Proctor's shocking bigotry and emotional instability, which he was hired by the MSP and entrusted by the DA to conduct serious criminal investigations. I absolutely agree. Hmm. You're not going to see me disagree. Proctor is all of these things. What's Aiden? Two complete shitbags. What was Proctor's involvement in this? And for him, for Aiden, I got my boys in blue to arrest this dude. Proctor's communications reveal an incomprehensible degree of hatred and bias towards communities he was sworn to protect. Yep. In addition to their repulsive content, Proctor's communications disturbingly reveal the ease and comfort in which he matter of factly and proudly shares his raging prejudice with others. Where are any texts of him doing that with Buchanan? Have they come out with Buchanan or Brian Tully? Absolutely. Cali girl all over it. Betterow writes like this so people like Melanie Little can read it and react positively to Aiden Kearney. This was exactly for it to be read to the masses. Okay. Um, so Proctor believes that black people are, oh my God. Well, Aiden Kearney's not black. He deems it acceptable for white supremacists like himself. Jesus. Proctor openly endorsed the, okay. Yep. We all have seen those. I'm not going to repeat any of this revolting language. Yeah. All right. So this is just what I see. I mean, again, what does this have to do with Aiden? He was not involved in Aiden's case. If Aiden didn't record himself committing crimes, and this was about manipulating, fabricating, you know. So when they did the motion to suppress originally, and I was like, wait, they clipped and edited his videos. I was like, that's manufacturing evidence. Like, fuck yeah, like that's crazy. You guys, what Mark Betterow tried, and he's on YouTube, so he's well aware of how edited videos are. What Mark Betterow tried to tell the judge, it was you misled the tribunal. That's misconduct. You can't fucking do that. There was no nobody edited his videos. Nobody manufactured or fabricated or spliced up a sentence and added it with another sentence to deliver that to the jury. You know, and and the person that caught this was Meredith. And it wasn't. This was not edited. This was his language. We're not going to sit here and show the grand jury 19 hours. 56 hours. These are the parts that focused on that topic, whatever the fuck it was. So I've actually had somebody splice up and cut up my words and try to make a sentence into something that I didn't say. Yeah. Fucking crazy people. That's not what happened here to Aiden. None of his shit is edited. He goes live, and it's a live broadcast. Okay. Again, everything that he talks about for like 5, 6, 7 pages, not a single example can be brought upon white males. Not a single one of them. What's up, Yuri's math teacher, doing some math today? Yeah. I also just don't I just don't see I I don't see how Mark Betterow thinks by taking oatmeal and mixing it with Cheerios, it's all going to be Cheerios. Like that's what I see here. It's not like two kids were eating Cheerios and then you took both of the bowls and combined it. Here you go. It's Cheerios. It's all Cheerios. It's all the same. He's fucking taking oatmeal. He's taking waffles. He's taking eggs, and he's putting all of that in a bowl of Cheerios and trying to say, hey, this is all Cheerios. It's like, are you fucking stupid? Like, it's just not. But I get it. Proctor, fuck yeah. Anybody who he does not like, fuck yeah. And obviously he does not like Aiden, right? Fuck yeah. But show me how he framed Turtleboy. It's kind of like getting a ticket versus somebody that doesn't get a ticket. We were both going 70 and it's a 60. Why did I get a ticket and they didn't? Okay, discretion. Right? Or, I mean, at the end of the day, even though that person was speeding like I was, it doesn't mean that I wasn't speeding. I got the ticket, I was speeding, but they didn't get a ticket. Why the fuck didn't they get a ticket? They're speeding too. Well, them speeding and not getting a ticket has nothing to do with I was speeding and I got a ticket. It does not take away, like Proctor's shit doesn't take away Turtleboy's crimes that he committed, according to the Massachusetts statutes. Proctor's being does not take away that there are victims of Turtleboy. What the fuck does that have anything to do with anything? Now, if you are out here claiming that Michael Proctor framed me and those really are not my victims because Michael Proctor framed me, those people are not my victims, that's a completely different argument. But that can never be made by Aiden Carney because Aiden Carney recorded everything he did. Everything. to think that Turtleboy's tweeting this out like it's fucking the most amazing piece of writing, or that it's just such these great arguments. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like that this is what you have to. And I wrote it last night. I said, if this is what you need to fucking pray and hope and fantasize about in order for you to get your charges dismissed, this is a fantasy right here. You know, everything that Proctor fantasized about, you're fantasizing about. I thought you were innocent, man. You don't fucking need this shit. You're an innocent man. It's freedom of speech. You don't need it. Fuck that. I'm an innocent person. I'm an independent journalist. Of course, I have my opinions. I did this. I have my sources. I'm covering a case. I'm outing corruption. You know, I thought that's what you're innocent. This fucking screams that you're guilty as fuck. And that you need a technicality to get you off of your fucking crimes, man. That's what I see here. This screams a defense attorney trying to get their guilty client the fuck off. And also I see Mark Betterow trying every which way to preserve the motherfucking record, which is telling me, Turtleboy, we really need to preserve your record because this is, you know, that means you're going to be found guilty and appeals. You got to preserve your record. Again, just whatever. Okay, awesome. Finally get to something that we can talk about. Most importantly, 36 here. Most importantly, 36. Proctor's messages reveal that his arrogance and offensive views, just like Turtleboy, influence his professional judgment as a sworn law. Include what? Proctor discussing planning coke on people. Yeah, show me. Yes, exactly. Show me him fucking setting Aiden up. Show me, I want to see it. Come on, man. Think about if they would have had that. Think about if Karen Reed would have had that shit. Okay. Like I told you, Karen Reed, if I'm on the jury, not guilty. Not guilty, not guilty. Okay. Why? Because the investigators and investigation into this case was completely fucked. Okay. Now you go to Aiden Carney. Aiden Carney. Now let me just also backtrack and say, I don't care who you put into the defendant's chair. And now these text messages with Proctor talking about planning coke and shit, it doesn't matter who you put into that chair. They're going to be found not guilty of the murder of John O'Keefe, period. Because it doesn't matter who you put in that chair. It does not change the work that was done in the case. It does not change the investigation. So period. And that's just a hard pill to swallow, because I think that means that John O'Keefe, right, is never going to the justice there. Unfortunately, that's why would I find Karen Reed not guilty, but not find anybody else not guilty? It's the same investigation. It's the same shit. Garbage in, garbage out, not guilty. Now you go to Aiden Carney. Aiden Carney, there was no investigation needed. Nobody investigated anything. What is there to investigate? This is not a whodunit. This is not somebody stole my car, fucking who did it. This is not somebody that was pranking me and we had to find out who did it. Like, this is not a whodunit case. The judge made this perfectly clear. This is not a whodunit case. And the defense and prosecution said, yeah, this is not a whodunit case. Right, exactly. So the judge was like, why aren't we going to trial here? What the fuck is going on? Like, what's going on here? Well, Aiden was stalling for numerous reasons, which I talked about the other night. But this is either he did it or he didn't. Meaning, did he violate the Massachusetts statutes? Does he meet the elements? What did he do? That's about intent. It's about intent. Man, fuck your intent. 404 is going to fuck you up, man. You are fucked about that. So stop talking about intent, motherfucker. The intent, in your character, the character evidence that's coming in is because you just keep speaking about intent, that you walked yourself into a trap laid by moi. You're a moron. You're an absolute moron. You say that you are always 10 steps ahead and I do things, blah, blah, taking one out of Alan Jackson's book the other night, talking about everything I do for a reason. Shut the fuck up. You're a goddamn liar. You don't have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Your head is like, literally, you have more shit coming at you and shit coming out of your ass and your mouth than you know what to do with it. Just a pile of shit just always surrounding you. You want to know why? Because you create the shit storms. But then you forget what shit storms you create, because you create so many that you don't know who's coming at you and for what. You don't know who's trying to fuck you over. Or who you think is trying to fuck you over versus just, no, I'm just here to show who you are. But yeah, no. Aiden Carney is 1,000% going to be found if this goes to a jury trial. I've been saying it for a while now. He will be found guilty. Guilty, 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 guilty. Guilty, 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 guilty. And this stuff right here, Mark Betterow, guess who gets to sentence your client? The judge. So you should stop writing this shit that's fucking insulting his intelligence. Okay? This shit's not going to work. But Proctor discussing the plant coke. Well, show me where Proctor's discussing anything about that he had any involvement. Where was Aiden Carney? Just even the word set up. Proctor told Good to take your time. I mean, Oh my God. Proctor's actual bias. Here we go. This is all I care about. There we go. Proctor's actual bias against Aiden Carney, like his comments smearing Reed, the few messages of Proctor that the defense has seen demonstrate Proctor's actual bias against Aiden Carney. In a July 13, 2023 email titled Turtleboy to 88 Adam Lally and his MSP supervisors, 3 months before Aiden Carney's arrest, Proctor referred to Aiden Carney as what? An asshole? Proctor was upset that Aiden Carney had referenced himself and his family. July 13th. Proctor was upset that Aiden had referenced himself and his family. He complained that blank. See affidavit and motion to compel. Yep. On September 3rd, 2023. So this would be after, the rolling rally. In a group text chain with DA Michael Morrissey and his MSP supervisors, Proctor complained that they were blank to stop Kearney. Disparaging Kearney as whatever, he again complained that Kearney was discussing himself and his family. Proctor urged superiors to arrest him, right? Something like that, implying that the details to justify this drastic action could be filled in later. Like, why aren't you arresting him, right? Due to the existence of a long-standing protective orders in this case, we have redacted certain portions of Proctor's messages. Now that Proctor's disgusting character has been laid bare by Reed's and King's public filings after Judge Julian unsealed various documents, there is no reasonable basis to protect Proctor and or deny public access to matters of great public concern involving possible corruption and investigative bias. You guys. I love the spin. There's nothing to investigate here. There isn't an investigation. You guys, there is nothing to investigate with Aiden Carney. Okay. There is a thing called in Massachusetts, okay, where you as a citizen can like go forward with a complaint. Like if a cop won't do it, right? Think about that. That's how that's all I need to say. Given what the public already knows about Proctor, there is little risk that release of the redacted messages will unduly prejudice him or the Commonwealth. A separate motion on the issue will be filed shortly. Wait, where's this actual bias? So telling somebody to arrest. So what this is telling me is that Michael Proctor had no authority to do anything, to arrest anybody, because he's over here begging people to arrest him because of what the fuck he's done to his family. Is that what I'm seeing? I'm seeing another cop begging and asking, hey, so he doesn't have any authority to do shit. Is that right? He's just influencing something? Yep. He's just being a whiny bitch? Yep. But what does that have anything to do with what has taken place with Chris, Colin, Jen, the other Albert, Julie Nagel? I can't believe that Sarah Levinson did not complain. Sarah Levinson, he came after your fucking license. Like, fuck, are you kidding me? Fuck that. Some people, I mean, that's just when, like, do you know, there's people in this world that are just like, I just want this to be over. Like, please, like, just leave me alone. Just like she's probably, who knows how people can't handle it. Everybody is wired differently. Clearly bent on silencing Aiden Carney because of his personal frustration with him, Proctor stated that blah. This message is another example of Proctor's official actions being influenced by his personal bias. What? On January 28, 2025, Proctor texted Sergeant Buchanan that he had reviewed Blank's live show that criticized Proctor and his family. So 2 years after his arrest, Proctor and Sergeant Buchanan discussed blank, 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 blank. Exhibit A. The above described message reveals that those investigating Aiden Carney, including Proctor, were so personally biased against him that they gleefully fantasized about the joy they would feel if Carney was incarcerated after a conviction. Gleefully. Interesting. I think cops say it all the time when they want to get the bad guy off the street. God, can't wait to get this fucker at, how great would it be? I think it'd be so fucking ironic that Karen Reed gets to go free and Aiden Carney gets to go spend 20. I mean, gleefully, those are Mark Bettero's words. Do you want to know what the words are going to be of somebody else? It's not going to be gleefully. It's going to be like, what a relief. What a relief. Again, I'm not going to sit here and defend Proctor, and I'm not going to sit here and defend Aiden Carney. I would love to watch a UFC fucking match of those two. Okay, I'd pay $100 to go pay-per-view that shit and watch Michael Proctor and Aiden Carney fucking 3 rounds. Let's go in the octagon, which neither one of them would last a round. Like, fuck. Like, come on. Yeah, this case has created an unreasonable expectation of police performance among followers of TB. You want to know what this case has totally tested for me? You guys, who goes out there and fights more fucking corruption? Okay. And exposes cases where, if you don't want to use the word corrupt, but there's police officers or troopers or whatever that are so bad at their job then that they just are completely missing off the mark on so many, how to investigate a case, like how to do a chronological timeline, leaving out key points, not being able to, interview people, follow the protocols. So Michael Proctor had nothing to do with Aiden Carney being investigated. Okay. It just wasn't there. But it's, can't say the same about. Okay. God, what a bunch of idiots. I was so mad about Proctor yesterday. It made me want to TB not to get convicted. Then I came to my senses, says Karen. Karen, yeah. This has nothing. I believe that anybody that would be Jewish, Black, female, all those cases that every case that Proctor was involved with as having investigative role, making decisions, okay, writing reports, following leads, all that stuff, I think every single one of them should come back up. Did you hear what I said though? Black people, Jewish people, women, sexual assault victims, white male that named Aiden Carney, who Proctor had no say in, because he was saying, when the fuck you guys gonna arrest this man? Like, come on, blah, blah, blah. Can you think about this though? All I've been hearing is that Aiden was arrested and pursued because the same people that did whatever to Karen Reed. This actually kind of proves that that's not the case. Because why didn't Proctor fucking go arrest his ass? So, where's any talk about Brian Tully? Where's Brian Tully in this? Let's see. The above described messages reveal. Okay, great. In every message, the defense has been provided in which Proctor is discussing the Aiden Kearney investigation. Proctor uses disparaging or vulgar language to describe Kearney. Mm-hmm. Yep. Proctor's credibility is relevant to Kearney's defense. Yeah, bring him in. Yes, bring him in. This is what the judge is going to say. You want him as a witness? Call his ass. Where the fuck is he? Call him to the stand. Okay. And let Cosgrove object to relevancy. Okay. Which, if I was Cosgrove, I wouldn't object to shit. Let fucking go ahead, trash this man. Mm-hmm. Yep. Cosgrove on cross. Did you perceive Aiden to be black? Female? A sexual assault victim? What other race? What do you hate? Is he Jewish? Who else do you hate, Proctor? The one race that you do not hate is white males like yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Any of those text messages have anything to do with white people, male white people? Nope. In fact, you and Aiden Kearney are pretty much alike, aren't you? Objection calls for speculation. What the fuck? Yep, sure. In fact, you were crying. You wanted him arrested so bad. You didn't have any say in it, though, did you? Otherwise, you would have went and arrested him, right? You couldn't, though, right? Because you were involved in this investigation. Now, could any of that be said for Karen Reed? Fuck no. Miles? Fuck no. I mean, to hear these lawyers going to discuss and truly try to make apples to apples in this, I'm here for it. I want to see these motherfuckers pretzel. Show me. Show me. Go watch these lawyers fucking pretzel themselves. This is not the same. And if this is the same, then think of so many cases out there where, somebody was a bigot or racist towards whoever, and every single conviction gets to come back. Because guess what? Because that person who has nothing to do with your investigation here, though, they were talking to him and letting them know about their hatred of them. This reeks of desperation. This reeks of a guilty person. This is what you call throwing everything against the wall and trying to see what sticks, Mark. And Mark knows that. Otherwise, you wouldn't write it. He's so fucking innocent. He's so fucking innocent. And he's got to do this. Dude, I'm telling you, I would not want to be in his shoes. I've been saying this. Every night he's got to shit himself. He shits his pants. There's no way that he doesn't. He is literally facing all this time in prison. Karen Reed acquitted, right? Do I think that she's out of the hot water? Fuck no, I don't. That's why I think that she will never talk to that man again. That man has put her in so much hot water. To think that you just beat, a murder case against you, right? And now for the rest of my life, I have to have witness intimidation held over my head. And there's always going to be an asterisk next to her not guilty because of him. Again, I don't think this judge is going to let any of this go on. I think this judge is going to make it very clear and cut. This is what Aiden Kearney did. Okay. This gets presented to the jury. Defense, you can go ahead and defend it. Prosecutor, you can go ahead and say why you're prosecuting. And you can go ahead and put these victims on the stand and let the jury decide if there's victims here. Let the jury decide if there's victims here. That's what I think is going to go on. I think this judge is not going to let This is not getting dismissed. This is going forward. Will Aiden be able to get some suppressions out of? I hope to God that's what they're working on. But if this is what they're relying on, like this isn't going to work, that's out. It's just going to be here. The jury. What is this? Is this witness intimidation? Is this this? Is this this? And Aiden Carney thinks that he can talk his way to the finish line with an acquittal on everything. And I am telling you right here, right now, I will donate $1,000 if that motherfucker is found not guilty across the board, $1,000 to him. And I will write, go to a strip club because nobody is willingly fucking you and your nasty ass teeth. Here you go. That's how confident I am that he is not going to be found not guilty across the board. No jury in Massachusetts on a he's looking at multiple, we're talking double digits. They are going to give, this jury is going to give the Commonwealth some victories because that's what juries do. Given the volume of messages which reveal Proctor's prejudice, what do you mean? The volume of his, the fuck does that matter? Would it matter, you guys, if there was just one thing or if there was 1,000? Think about it. To me, the volume wouldn't matter. If that person said something like that one time, that's who they are. Because you would never fucking say any of that shit. Okay? So the volume. Given the volume, fuck the volume. But whatever. Given the value, this is what Proctor's credibility is relevant to Aiden Carney's defense, and I'm saying it's not. Given the volume of messages which reveal Proctor's prejudice, his bias against certain individuals, including Reed and Aiden Carney, and the impact that his general and actual biases have had on his official duties, it is reasonable to conclude that some of the thousands of unreleased Proctor messages in the people's possession, custody, or control tend to favor Aiden Carney, in that they support his claim that the investigation against him was biased, flawed, and in bad faith. Bad faith, motherfuckers. Bad faith. He recorded himself. There was nothing to do. There was nothing to do in this case. And Proctor didn't do dick in this case. And in part motivated and influenced by Proctor's bias against Aiden Carney. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? All of these people that are the victims of Aiden Carney came forward in 2023. And y'all want to talk about, wait, when does Proctor bitch and cry and complain? Aiden Carney's defense will include the argument that the investigation and prosecution was conducted in bad faith by the MSP and others for the purpose of silencing Aiden Carney's ongoing criticism of Karen Reed. He did not stop. This is why he was never rearrested. They're fucking smart. Nope. The motherfucker's bail was revoked because of his domestic dispute. Because of what he did to a female that he was dating. Had nothing to do with anything about this. All of it. All of it. He caught another charge. Okay. And then he had a grand juror come over and told her to destroy evidence. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. These people are wild. Wild. The defense is going to include the argument that the investigation and prosecution of Aiden Carney was conducted in bad faith. Holy shit. I'm sorry, but guys, that is hilarious to me. It was done in bad faith for the purpose of silencing Aiden Carney's ongoing criticism of the Karen Reed case. Ooh. Criticisms. No. Dude, nothing about the criticisms of the investigators. No. That was never shown. That was never like, fuck no. Oh my God. That's hilarious, Mark. You are an idiot for writing that, an absolute moron for writing that. But I'm here for it. Let me see that. A large component of Aiden Carney's criticism of Karen Reed case. Remember, this is what I was trying to tell him. But you just need to focus on the investigation and you would have been fine. You didn't do that. You attacked the witnesses. He's like, they're not witnesses. They should have been suspects. But they weren't. If your uncle had a fucking vagina, she'd be your aunt, but she doesn't. So he has a dick, so he's your uncle. You know, fucking A, man. But this is his MO. He does not attack police. He attacks who he dubs as the weak link to like get what he thinks like, hey, we go attack the weak link, then it's all gonna crumble, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna be able to fucking bully them and blackmail them, blah. They'll come to our side. Hence, why do you think Karen Reed was over there at Higgins? Hence, why was people going over and trying to come on? And then the biggest part of what the lucky shit that Aiden did, hooey. Aiden was just going to make up another smear campaign against somebody. It's really sad. It's really pathetic. A large component of Aiden Carney's criticism of the Karen Reed case centered on his opinion and reporting on Proctor's alleged corruption and conflicts of interest. As described above, Proctor's personal bias against Aiden Carney resulted directly from Aiden Carney's criticism of him. Again, Aiden Carney is not facing nothing has to do with Proctor. All that stuff was dismissed so long ago. Aiden Carney intends to call Proctor, I knew it, as a defense witness at trial to support his defense. This is going to be the best. You guys. Holy shit. Yeah, the defense calls Michael Proctor to the stand. You guys, the one person that he does not fucking say shit about is white males. Damn. Oh my God. As part of this examination, the defense intends to prove. They don't have to do anything. You guys, intends to prove it. The burden. Yeah, we're going to take it on. We intend to prove that Aiden Carney believed Proctor was corrupt. Oh my God, they're now switching their... Oh my God, they're going to switch their fucking... Oh my God, they're switching the defense. Oh my God. I'm going to pass out. I am going to literally pass out. Remember, they can't lead. If he's a witness, I mean, they could try to get him in as a hostile witness and intends to prove that Aiden Carney believed Proctor was corrupt, that he sought to notify the public about Proctor's corruption. Oh my God, he's toast. Oh my God, this is an assignment for Lana. I will show the exact opposite. No, he didn't want to go at the cops. That's not his forte. That's not what he does. That's not what he wants to do. He wanted, no. Oh my God, in real time, you're seeing, oh, for fuck's sake. The defense intends to prove that Aiden Carney believed Proctor was corrupt, that he sought to notify the public about Proctor's corruption, And that as a result, Proctor arbitrarily sought Kearney's prosecution to do something to silence Aiden Kearney's criticism of him and others. Oh my God, and it's not going to fucking work. Talk about they're going to try to master spin this. Master splinter. But guess what? You're so fucked. Because you're trying to rewrite history. So if I'm a prosecutor right here, I see exactly what they're trying to do right here, 49. And Mark Bedrow comes out and says that this is going to be his defense. I thought this was freedom of speech. Yep, just defending my freedom of speech. But my intent the whole time was to just out the corruption in Massachusetts. Okay. Evidence in the Commonwealth's possession, custody, or control that tend to support Aiden Kearney's claim that Proctor was corrupt, or evidence which otherwise undermines his credibility, such as proof of Proctor's bias against investigative targets and Kearney specifically, is favorable to Aiden Kearney's defense and must be disclosed. I thought you guys had everything. I thought you just want to make it public. So now you're basically saying we don't have him talking shit about Aiden, and we need to try to get it. So then they're in your, this is wild. Mark Federer's all over the place with this. He is literally fucking all over the place. All over the place. He just had before that he had all these messages that they want to fucking be able to unseal so they can show us all, you know, how biased he's been towards Aiden Kearney. You guys, it's not there. It's not there. You would never write that last paragraph. That's crazy. We're watching a real-time flip right here. Irrespective of the ultimate admissibility of such evidence, the Commonwealth, irrespective of the ultimate, because like I told you, Cosgrove is going to object to so much of this coming into trial. The Commonwealth is obligated to disclose evidence in their possession, custody, or control, which tends to undermine Proctor's credibility. You want us to give you, but Proctor's your witness. Wait a second. Wait, what? And B, supports the defense's claim that the investigation was conducted in bad faith or lacked integrity. What the fuck? Where is Brian Tully's name in any of this shit? Where? Wow. The lack of Brian Tully's name in this speaks volumes. I can't believe this. The communications or items from Proctor's cell phone are discoverable under numerous provisions. Yep. The prosecution must disclose any relevant written or recorded statement of a person who has testified before a grand jury. The communications or items from Proctor's cell phone are discoverable under numerous provisions. The prosecution must disclose any relevant. That's the relevant. Proctor's communications and other items on his cell phone are discoverable under rule because they help establish a defense theory. Oh, shit. I cannot have 10. Oh, my God, you guys. He is literally just months away from his trial, and he is switching his defense in real time right here. This is fucking amazing. I'm here for it. I love it. Hell yeah. I thought he was fighting freedom of speech. Proctor's communications and other items on his cell phone are discoverable under 14B2B7 because they help establish a defense theory in that they support the defense position that the MSP investigation was biased, conflicted, and conducted in bad faith. Fuck. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Oh, they just want the messages. They just want the messages. God, they don't have anything. Oh my God, they don't have anything. Holy shit. Just so you guys are clear about this, I did not go through this. In real time, I am realizing and reading this just like you guys. I did the first 4 pages. And I was like, I got to be surprised here. This is mind-blowing. They don't fucking have shit. Oh my God. They don't have shit. They have they have less shit than I thought they had. They have less shit than I thought they had. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. Proctor's communications are discoverable under 14B because they constitute items or information that tend to establish deficiencies or lapses in the investigation of the case. You guys, wasn't it? I could never imagine saying like, hey, just throw out a name here. Damn. Wow. They don't have, he has nothing. At minimum, the Commonwealth should be directed to provide. Holy shit, you know what? Oh my God, Karen Reed's getting called to the stand. I mean, I figured that she would. I figured the state's got to call her. I mean, I would be calling her. But I also think that she can plead the fifth. But I think it'd be really good for the jury to hear that she's pleading the fifth. That's what you want. Whoa. At minimum, the Commonwealth should be directed to provide the full extraction of Proctor's phone. They want the full motherfucking extraction. We don't want, hey, we want everything. Hell yeah. Oh my God. This means, oh good Lord. You guys know what they've been exchanging discovery, just so you guys are clear, right? And oh my God. I told you guys he was getting hammered, like hit hard with his phone shit. If you guys think that Kate Peters and them are fucking putting out shit, that's why he tries to keep poking them to say he wants them to put out the shit because he's trying to get in front of things. He's trying to, because you know how long it is to go through stuff like that and you have to catch it and blah, blah, blah. Woo-wee. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's getting crushed right now in Discovery. Okay. Turtleboy is getting literally shellacked in Discovery right now. Whatever has been provided and they're going through it and shit. He's getting absolutely cooked in Discovery right now. Woo. At a minimum, the Commonwealth should be directed to provide the full extraction of Proctor's phone to the court for an in-camera review so that the court may determine which messages should be disclosed to the defense. Do you know how long that would take? Again, delay, an in-camera review, delay. Yeah, to go through this to see what we should get. You want me to go through how many messages? You guys. Meanwhile, Proctor is all about the white man. The white man can't do wrong. Okay. And so to hear those questions on the stand when Proctor is going to say, uh, I love the white man. I've probably sucked some dick in my day, white dick. Can you imagine that? Mark Betterow. 17 pages. Melanie Little's like, yay, I have content. Woo! All right, what do you guys think? This is crazy. All I know is that if you think that Kate Peter and all these other people putting out the little, they are guaranteed. If he thinks that, and if anybody out there thinks that what we've seen is like, oh my God, look at this. Fuck no. Absolutely not. You don't put your shit out. You don't put that out there. What we're seeing is like the fucking freshman team shit. And anybody out there that doesn't believe that is absolutely a fool. You need to change the way that you're thinking. But there it is. Common sense. Not so common. Common sense, not so common. Hey, Lana and Chad just got in bed. Thanks. This is BT material. Yeah. Betterow is also a grifter. I mean, does that guy ever work? He's on more shows on YouTube than fucking YouTube creators. This is definitely a Hail Mary, says Matt. Yeah, this is wild to me. Like I said, I'm calling it now. This is about Aiden Carney, what he did, recorded himself. The jury gets to see it. The jury can decide. But to sit here and try to say that your defense theory now is that Aiden Carney was out here trying to show that Michael Proctor was corrupt, and that and that's all. Come on, man. Come on. You want to know what you could have done if you really truly wanted to go about doing it like that? Let me see the public records request that Aiden Carney made. So when Aiden Carney takes a stand, Aiden Carney, how many public records? You guys want me to write up some really good questions that Cosgrove should ask Aiden Carney? Okay, number one is, how many public records requests did you do on Michael Proctor? How many public records requests did you do on Michael Proctor? Ready? 0. Did you try to, how many cases of his, name me cases where he was the lead investigator or part of the investigation that you uncovered prior to being arrested? Prior to the arrest of Aiden Carney, how many times did you Google on your phone Michael Proctor, past corruption? How many people did you interview that are sitting in jail / prison due to Michael Proctor's lead investigative work on their case? Zero, 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 zero. Dude, I'm just ripping this stuff off right here, right live. Like I said. I mean, imagine if I just had fucking an hour. Imagine if I had a couple weeks. You're fucking ooh, your defense theory is gonna yeah. I don't even know what to say. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll do some. I'm gonna do some work. I got some work that could literally. You know what? I can do a FOIA on all records requested by Aiden Carney and received to date. I don't even have to do it to date. Nope. I just need to do it from 2022 to 2023 arrest date. Fuck yeah. Hold on one second. Aiden, you shouldn't really write these motions because I'll just come through and just destroy you. Aiden, that would be 2022. We'll do January to October 2023. I'll do the public and I'll do the Fed stuff. He's trying to claim that he didn't get the federal information from anybody, aka the defense. Well, we'll just go get the proof to show that it didn't come from any FOIAing. It did. Obviously, they're not usually giving out stuff that it's open and active investigation. So you're basically, I mean, it's all lies. He's going to lie under oath. He's going to lie under oath. He's prepared to lie under oath. You have to catch him. You have to catch him. He's ready to prepare. He is prepared to lie under oath. That's why he did that interview with Gretchen Voss. He wanted to know the questions that were going to be asked upon Gretchen Voss because he thinks that will prep him for his case. So that's why he did that interview, because he wanted to know the questions. He didn't care what the fuck he said. He wanted the questions. Well, Aiden, I won't be putting my questions out there. I'll be emailing them to somebody. Sorry. My shit's too valuable. But I think I just broke it down pretty easily here that Aiden Carney was not investigating or interested in Michael Proctor whatsoever. Okay, he was interested in one thing and one thing only, which was Karen Reed's narrative. And now if you're going to go this route, you're going to make so many more people relevant. Because it's going to be like, well, if that was the case, then why were you attacking kids? You know, yeah. What's up, Sherry? Thank you so much, Sherry. Appreciate that. Also, to sit here and hear him talk about that this isn't for fucking money. That's all he does. Of course, aren't you trying to make a living, Aiden? You're just so pathetic. But I have to play something and I'm going to end this. I'm sorry, but Samantha is now just like an English teacher, a statement analysis person, expert. Turtleboy is just getting, oh, fuck, man. Whoever he says to go like and subscribe to, that's what the little minions do. And so here in the latest, I'm going to play his just a clip of this live Turtleboy to this morning. And he shows Samantha, and I'm amazed that she's an idiot about this. Like, she just needs to, I don't know what's going on, but
Robert and I call it Tom Beatty. The answer is always the same, with the way the question asked and maybe some of the words that I used.
Have been the most active. The head of the never went there.
oh wait,
He didn't actually plan. He didn't go to the scene.
She further found one thing.
Yes.
Because we know this is definitive deception. I mean, it is definitive. So now, number one, we know those conversations between Colin and Allie didn't.
You know, I again, far be it from me to make.
okay, watch this.
At that time.
I don't think Allie McKay for the
Very. She instead says it wouldn't have been. In other words, no
I have a comment about this.
time. Fact that nobody. Investigator to say, hey, I cannot believe I didn't catch it before, but I've got it now. The way
Beatty and tried to get him to say that Colin never called Aaron that night. They were going out of their way to pressure the Beatty family to lie and cover for Colin. Since Colin didn't speak with police and his parents did the speaking for him, an alibi for Colin was finally presented at trial, claiming that he was picked up by Jennifer McCabe's daughter, Allie, at 12:10.
Ms. McCabe, you have known Colin Albert your whole life, correct?
Correct.
You are extremely close, correct?
Yes. He was not at the house when John was there, so.
Now, you claim that you took a screenshot of a text conversation that you had with Colin Albert and have not engaged in any cover-up. It's fair to say that on January 29th, 30th, 31st, you did not turn over that screenshot to any law enforcement official, correct, of 2022?
No, I was never asked.
So not only is this extra information, meaning
Okay. Listen to the question.
You did not turn over that.
At the house when John was there, so.
Now, you claim that you took a screenshot of a text conversation that you had with Colin Albert and have not engaged in any cover-up. It's fair to say that on January 29th, 30th, 31st, you did not turn over that screenshot to any law enforcement official, correct, of 2022?
No, I was never asked.
so not only is this extra information, meaning she is interjecting this, she's offering it. She wants us to hear this because the simple right answer here would have been no.
Unless you have a horrible, horrible attorney who is going to try to rehabilitate you. No, I was never asked. Because we need to make sure that if she just says no, okay, then Lally has to do a really good job to rehabilitate and say, you were never asked about that, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, here, she's, I believe, offering up this information. Do not rely on Lally to fucking make you whole again.
But look at the way she phrases the answer. No, I was never asked. And that makes us have to throw up a flag. Why? Because never, inherently, when it's used in this way, as a blanket way to replace no, or to say never, as in not in the past, not in the present, and not in the future, it's a flag.
You never called an investigator.
Right there. Yannetti says, you never, right? In this part of the question. Ready?
It's used in this way as a blanket way to replace no, or to say never, as in not in the past, not in the present, and not in the future, it's a flag.
You never called an investigator to say, hey, I have a copy of a screenshot of a text message conversation that I had with Colin Albert, correct?
No, it wouldn't have been relevant at that time.
Holy.
No, it wouldn't have been relevant at that time. She's going to lose it over this. Because it was, nobody was accusing Colin of being there and in the house. So here we wanted to show, like, that's impossible. I picked him up. This was the time that I picked him up. And I'm going off the time of, like, him saying, you know, like, come here, whatever the fuck the text is now.
Shit. All right, guys. Well, this was a significant bombshell to me. To me, this was significant. I cannot believe I didn't catch it before, but I've got it now. The way that she has said this has always bothered me. I kept
And you know what? Until you realize why, until you realize that you're relying on Adam Lally to rehabilitate you, it doesn't. Now it makes perfect sense. Because if Adam Lally doesn't fucking rehabilitate, then it stands as what it is, and the jury thinks that she's like hiding something, which she wasn't. I was never asked to.
looking at it, saying, I kept looking at it. And something is wrong. What is
Screenshot of a text message conversation that I had with Colin Albert, correct?
So here, Yannetti says, you never called an investigator to say, hey,
He used the word never.
I have a copy of a screenshot of a text message conversation so anything that is not yes or no is extra information. That means this is something that Allie McCabe wants us to know. She's going above and beyond what she has to in order to make sure and communicate these words.
Do you see the spin here? There's a ton of spin here. And it's as simple as like, we're not dealing with like a veteran cop testifying and knowing how to no. The spin's coming from the narrator of the video.
That makes them extremely important to Allie. What were those words? You can't even make this up. Oh. What she says is, no, it wouldn't have been relevant.
Then we get into like a fucking, so here's Turtleboy watching this. Then we get into like a English lesson.
It wouldn't have
At
been well.
that time. Now, wouldn't, it's a theoretical way to frame something. Well, yeah, I mean, if I wanted to go snow skiing tomorrow and it was 90 degrees, then I wouldn't be able to go snow skiing tomorrow, not unless I fly somewhere else to do it. It is a reference to the conversation that she had allegedly back then with Colin. So what she's saying is,
no, it's not. That's not what it refers to. It refers to her providing the police with this information. It wouldn't have been relevant at the time. Do you see this? I'm pointing this out in real time so you guys can all say, oh, wow, holy shit. This is fucking nuts. It is not it wouldn't have been relevant at that time is not the conversation. No, it's with the police. It wouldn't have been relevant at that time to tell them anything about anything to do with Colin because Colin wasn't being alleged of being inside that fucking house until later. That's what this is all about.
That conversation wouldn't have been relevant at that time. In other words, if that conversation happened, it wouldn't have been relevant at that time because nobody knew that Colin was at the house yet. Now, all of us gave her a pass here because we assumed that the wouldn't was a reference to at that time. In other words, the theoretical part of what she's holding in her mind is the fact that nobody knew Colin was at the house yet. But
no, that's exactly what it is. Listen to this.
If those text messages existed, if she really did take Colin home and they had that whole interaction, then the way this statement would have come out in court with Yannetti is it wasn't relevant at that time. The conversation with Colin wasn't relevant at that time. The reason that she says it wouldn't have been is because the actual communication with Colin didn't exist yet. There was no communication with Colin. The hypothetical part of what is in her mind as these words are coming out is the conversation with Colin Albert, not whether everyone knew that Colin was at 34 Fair.
Now, in my opinion, this is editorializing. This is her interpretation of it. You can misspeak on the stand. I'm not trying to, make excuses for Allie McCabe here, but when you're on the stand, sometimes she also said that John was in the house accidentally. Allie McCabe said that. I don't think she stands by that. I don't think Allie McCabe stands by that, but she let that out. Remember, she said that he wasn't at the house. He wasn't at the house at the same time as John. Oh, so John was there. I don't think she meant that. Obviously, that
wasn't at the house yet. Like we had already, like I picked him up and left before they arrived at the house. Yeah, that's it.
Was not the script. Because as we know, she wouldn't know shit because she wasn't there. Her Life 360 data show she never went there.
Review.
Oh, and you're wrong. He's bringing up the Life 360 and he's wrong. I broke down that Life 360 and here is the proof of the Life 360 for everybody that's watching. Again, on the night of the murder of Shanann Watts, here it is, the Life 360 driving them home from the airport. Okay. Take a look. It does not get any prettier than this. So again, this is just wild. The fucking lies, but it's very simple. The Life 360, all right, is right here. And what it will show is they left the airport at 1:28 a.m. They meaning Nicole Atkinson and Shanann Watts. And Nicole Atkinson gets home at 2:10. Where is the stop and the drop off of Shanann Watts? It's not there. But we have it on the Ring camera. She gets, she drops her off. Well, let me tell you why. Because it's still considered one whole trip. Why? Because the person whose phone that is and whose Life 360 never got out of the car to start walking it. It's registering it as still the same trip. Again, 1:28, they're leaving the airport. And 2:10 is when Nicole Atkinson gets home. So we're in this 1:28 to 2:10, which is at 1:56. Shanann is walking into the house, and you guys see it on the Ring camera. So everybody can kiss my motherfucking ass. You guys want to talk Life 360? Let's go. If I can, I will own you in Life 360. There would be, for what Allie McCabe says that she did, that she never got out of the car. That's what would have broken up the trip. I can go into so many more things that happened with Nicole Atkinson's Life 360 that support 1000% what Allie McCabe is saying. But here you go, right here. Allie McCabe going and stopping at 34 Fairview. Oh, but it's not there. It's not on our Life 360. That's not how that works. Here, leaving, stopping at Shanann's, dropping Shanann off. Why isn't that there? Why isn't that there? Because the person whose Life 360 it is didn't get out of the car, didn't go in, didn't go grab somebody, nothing like that. The trip doesn't stop. The trip is continuing. And so it's a consecutive trip because the person with the phone whose Life 360 it is did not get out of the car to walk it, to do a different movement with it. It's no different than if you were stopped at a stop sign, if you were stopped at a red light. Okay, it does not stop and say, I stopped at a red light and I was at a stop sign or I was at a red light for, a minute and 22 seconds. Okay. So I hope everybody sees that this is the accurate, this is what it would look like. And so Allie McCabe's whole route, however long it took, wherever she was doing, there's not going to be all these places that she stops to drop people off or pick people up. And she said that she never got out of the car. The Life 360 data supports everything that she actually said on the stand, because it's going to look something like this, which is just one consecutive trip, leaving and wherever they're starting and stopping, and she's getting out of the with the car, or she's getting out of her car with the phone, and that's what happened when she got out of the car, Nicole Atkinson, at her home at 2:10. Then her phone never left her house until 10:41 in the morning. Right here, Nicole Atkinson claimed that she went to go check on Shanann at the doctor's office, or just like to see if she went and showed up for her appointment. Do you see how there's no endpoint? You see that? Normally you're going to see a starting point and end point. What this shows me, and this is why when people want to talk about my work in the Watts case, these fucking idiots out here saying that I support Chris Watts, that's never the fuck what I supported ever, not once. Okay. I support our rights. Okay. You have the right to do a hell of a lot of things. All right. But at the end of the day, I think that if more than one person was involved in this, they should be held accountable. But more importantly, I cared about the data in this case. And what the data showed is that the person who left the house never got out of the car. Therefore, you could never have gotten out of the car to talk to anybody at the driver or the doctor's office to see, hey, I know that it's a HIPAA violation. You can't tell me anything about it, but did Shanann come here today? That conversation would have required, and it would have broken up this trip. Instead, it's someone just going and doing the motion so that you could say that you did it, or the person that who's actually truly Life 360 app that this truly is never got out of the car and somebody else did, which I then said, because Nicole Atkinson had her son on it as well. So and they were together. And so all I'm showing is that who's ever Life 360 this is never got out of the car. So if you were to talk and you could see that there's no end point and starting point like this, it's just one starting and stopping at the same place. Anyways, all these fucking freaks that are talking about Life 360, they don't know shit about what they're talking about. And Allie McCabe's Life 360 1000% supports her testimony, especially her saying that she never got out of the car. And that would be fucking huge, because a lot of people could have thought that, hey, like your parents were there, like you didn't go out to like say hi to them, or like, you know what I mean? Like go in and say happy birthday to anybody. Yeah, think about that. And so her actual testimony in the Life 360 data supports it completely. So they can go ahead and spin whatever the fuck they want, but the data supports Allie McCabe's testimony. And anybody out there that's saying that it doesn't is a fucking liar. And they'll get owned in court. Peace out. Till the next one. Thank you, moderators. Have a good one.